Well, hey Gundam Maniacs, welcome to another episode of Gundam Explained. I am Adam Blue, and for today's episode, I'm going to compare two high-grade kits, one being a P-Bandai and one being not. Now, these two kits go together great, like peanut butter and jelly, or like GPO1 and GPO2, and that's Blue Destiny Unit 1 and the Efreet Custom. Blue Destiny Unit 1, I always like to hear the little nublets in here with the empty runners, but yeah, this was a regular release. Awesome artwork on this, you know, and obviously the option of exam or non-exam, and we'll get into that. Even the option of manga or video game version, and we'll get into that. Then we have the box to the Efreet Custom P-Bandai release, so obviously no colors here except for blue, so you don't really get an idea of, you know, the little details you need to add other than maybe looking at official pics online. All right, here we go. The two awesome units just on their own, they're awesome, but together to do some awesome battling. Blue Destiny, that was a game started on the Saturn. It's been rolled up into things like SD Generation Genesis, Missing Link on PS3, so you can revisit the story if you haven't yet or haven't read the manga. All right, and a little close look to the Blue Destiny Unit 1. I really like how this turned out. I went for the exam look, so that is the eyes or the face. I mean, I say eyes because they really gave this thing eyes, because there's two options. There's the manga version, which has more of a visor, and while there's a visor on this, behind it, it has those eyes that look fantastic, actually. So when it came to the build of this was quite a simple, lovely, fun build. It's just kind of interesting, and this will be a future video, the differences between different high-grade kits in terms of just hand placement, heads. It's like, why are some things different from the others? I almost want to kit bash like the ultimate high grade, but that will be another video. But anyway, just a quick look. This is where I did the straight build, gloss top coat with Tamiya X20 airbrush. Then I went through the panel line. Then I did the decals, and I did a top coat with Alclad 2 matte coat in an airbrush. I saw a lot of white chalkiness going on, frosting I think it's called sometimes. I think that had to do with that kind of lacquer finish, possibly reacting to the Tamiya panel line ink that I used on this. And I guess I've just never come across that before until now, but now I know to avoid that. But then I went back with the TS80, some Tamiya color TS80, and it's a flat, and man, that thing turned out good. So some details I added a little bit of a Gundam marker for panel lining. I added the black there. I have the Tamiya chrome, and I got just the end of a toothpick, dipped it into the chrome, dipped it in there. Down here also with chrome, I wanted to get a little further in there, and I possibly can, just haven't figured out the technique yet. Moving down, you can just see areas where I panel lined. This suit didn't really, oh, that's coming apart. This kit didn't really have many extra details I had to do, which is pretty nice because the different blues for the color separation parts just make this look detailed on its own. And just the placement of the panel lines also make it very easy for anyone to add panel lining to where, you know, between the different color blues and then see panel lining, it looks super good, but this was super easy. This didn't really require too much. Now, oh, something just fell off. Now the back here, this backpack was originally blue, and I did sort of mix some paints to get kind of close to the joints here to get that color for the backpack, as I noticed that's what the color guide on the manual was showing. So this backpack was entirely spray painted, and as well as these little spots right here, because these come off so that you can then actually take this out entirely and just add something there as if it's like not engaged. I guess that's a way to explain it. And just moving down, we got the back there. You know, these stickers, especially here, and here, one thing I noticed that I did was after applying them and waiting for it to dry, or not dry, but settle, I went back later with a panel line ink and just did a light dash right outside the sticker area, and it filled in, and it looks excellent. Again, something very simple to do, but it just makes it look really good. All right, and some extra things this came with is when it comes to the stickers, it came with a different one. Again, this kit allows you to have a manga version or a video game version. I opted for the video game version. That's what I was more familiar with and liked. So you can have that option there. But another is the head. So let's see if I can get this to focus. So because there was an additional head, you get to choose if that also is exam or non-exam. So I did the standard look. Again, this is the visor look that's from the manga. But also it's interesting that it has this antenna on the head that you plug in, but it also had and it's even coming apart just a bit, you might be able to see here, but it came with a weird sticker that looked like a jellyfish was just laid out flat, and you just put it on and then mold the stickiness around the antenna. I did that to try it out, but if I was ever planning on having a version sit out that was the manga version, I would just paint that. Pretty easy to do. Like, again, when it comes to my Gunpla pet peeves video I want to do, like, having a color separated sticker for that is weird when sometimes we don't even get the color separated sticker for the little V that's on like a GM or a Gundam's crotch area. So it's just weird that this is what they opted for. Along with that, you know, this is based off the ground Gundam, right? And so beam sabers go in the cabs. You've probably seen this before. Let me see if I can actually open it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, beam saber is in there, and then it closes back up. Neat little gimmick there. I mean, I'm a fan of seeing beam sabers come out the back like a samurai. I love, or ninja. I love that look. But I think it's cool that they're here too. I also think like the GPO2, it's cool that it's in the hip. You can just like pop it out. So can't complain because the ground Gundam look is pretty cool, especially considering what they did with Blue Destiny, how they made it symmetrical. The original designs of the ground Gundam, what we see in 08MS team, with these interesting chest designs, usually it's like one half of it is that way, one half is the other. I appreciate how much Bandai and their storytelling in the video games went back to that ground Gundam look to further utilize it. Because I think it was a neat addition to UC in 08MS team, but I'm glad we're seeing that more on the ground during the 1 Year War. Okay, and you know, with that beam saber, you also get the beam effect part, and the beam saber is interesting that it's in two pieces, which again we don't see that often, and that is kind of weird to do. And then there's a little, let's see, there's a little spot in here that makes it easy to attach it. But yeah, again, another little design element that's interesting, and I want to know why. And does this help at all? Is the two parts to put this together. The other little parts on the back that go when you replace the vent, there's two of these. Part of it isn't painted, it's still the blue. The part that would be exposed is the black. And I just did it that way. And you know, on the unit itself, we have a ground Gundam shield we see a lot. It has a very interesting way, you know, to move it. Also, the standard machine gun for these. It looks cool. I didn't do any special painting there, just some minor details. It does have the magazine that comes off, and it was pretty hard to take that off, which is good considering I just built, I think it was something else I built recently. I forget what it was. And the magazine just keeps falling off. It's kind of annoying. Oh no, it wasn't something I built. It was the Robot Spirits Easy 8 that the magazines fall off all the time. And actually, since it's right here, I'm just gonna take off the magazine. Take off the magazine here. And already I could tell they don't match because the Robot Spirits versions have a little protruding connector spot, whereas on the Gunpla, it's the other way. So it's a female as opposed to male. And then isn't there like stalagmite and stalactite, or is that something different? All right, next up in this battle, we've got the Efreet Custom, which I'm proud of myself for building because I go for Fetty grunt suits and Gundams all the time. Rarely am I getting the cool Xeon suits, but I love them. The colors turned out great on this. Let's dive into the construction of this. So this was actually fun to build, easy to build. I loved the piping that it has. You know, obviously that's a little different than what we see with Federation suits. It's kind of a Xeon thing, but at the same time, it was really fun to put this together, like wrapping it around. And just when the design is a little different than most, that's kind of fun, especially when it's still all consistent and the engineering lends to you building a suit, not just random plastic parts that you're slapping together. So yeah, after building this, I just did, you know, some panel lining and some stickers. For instance, this right here, this part of the leg that actually can come off pretty easily. I don't see why I don't just glue it in. I might do that. But this whole part right here is a white sticker. And usually my default thought on that is the stickers probably won't look good. Let's just try it out. It was okay. You know, I want to get to a point where I can maybe better tape off things very evenly and securely so that I can then get that same look. But having this the stickers on really kind of help give it that even look. I think anywhere where I maybe see like a little bit of gapping or where I didn't align it correctly, I could probably use some white paint to fix. So that's what's very interesting with this. Not only did we have stickers for this, but down here at the feet, those are stickers. There's a sticker inside and a sticker outside, that orange that's around it. Very interesting. Same with the crotch. Weird placement looking at this. But anyway, it's got kind of the orange outer area and the darker inner area. I could probably hold that up closer, can't I? And then you can see all the bad details, but ignore that. And then let's see, up here, these were just color separated pieces. That was an issue. The pink was stickers, and in the eye were stickers. So, also on the missile pods, there's stickers on both sides and around the rim of one side, which was weird because I feel like they could have just made two, but instead one side you put stickers on, one side, I don't know. That doesn't make complete sense to me, but I don't know. Then the sticker on the back here, it's just kind of whatever. I feel like detail would look better than a flat piece, but yeah, it's whatever. The front though is a little more interesting because it's like a sticker, but it also had stickers within it, and I wasn't really too sure what I was supposed to do. Was I supposed to take off those little inner circle stickers and just use those? Use the whole thing? I was able to pull up the whole thing off the sheet and just place it on there, and what's interesting about that is you do get more of that 3D look. You got the chrome look, and also there are bumps. Oh, that part's coming off again. There are bumps in the underneath here that kind of help give it a 3D look. I mean, it's fine. I think it's kind of weird how they decided that someone would build this. So once I did all of that, the stickers, the panel lining, which, you know, wasn't too crazy, I then, and you know, some of the panel lining was weird on, was it this one or another one? I think it was this one too, where the panel lines seemed to be less straight edge. I don't know how to explain it. It seems like the ink, it would be easy for it to pool up. So you might actually get a better look from using a pen to just do the line real quick. Because when I'd put the ink, it would just kind of pool up because it's not an even, straight, specific area for the ink to fall into place. It's almost kind of resting around there, and then I'd have to go in and kind of clean up a bit. I want to say there's another kit I just built that had the same thing, and I'll get to that when I get to that. So after all was said and done, I did that before I inked it with the panel lining. I did that X20 gloss coat. And then it was time for the matte top or the flat top. What is my top coat? Well, on one hand, I didn't do it to the shoulders. For some reason, I felt keeping that gloss with the X20, maybe that kind of looks cool. Maybe if I got a more metallic version, but in the meantime, that looks cool. The thing is, it's like, man, if I did that gloss, I should have done the orange here gloss and there, and I don't know. This is, again, a first step. But on the back was interesting too, because so these were stickers to place in, not the orange, which looks really bad zoomed in here, But it was just stickers of vents that were just black, but the back, I was about to say the back of the manual, but it's not true. On the P-Bandai website where they have the this figure up there, it showed there was orange in there. I feel like I could do a couple more coats of that orange. It actually just doesn't look like that in person when I have it standing. It must be just because I have these lights that are on it, but that also gives me an idea when I'm painting, maybe have way more light on there or some sort of, secondary screen, like a view, like I have something looking at it and then magnifying it on my screen. That seems like a good idea. But anyway, I just got some paints I had to mix to get the color. I did it all by eye because I couldn't really find the exact paints I needed and didn't really know what percentage of each, so I just dropped it in. Yeah, it looks all right. Also, the orange in the thrusters there, I did the same actually underneath here. The thrusters needed that orange. You know what? It was so easy. Again, I'm using Tamiya paint, use a toothpick, or maybe I used a brush. I forget, but I think it was a toothpick, but I just got just enough to where I just went in, like, how do I explain it? Like, I went in and just went, just turn it. I mean, it's a way to do it. Anything else of note to this? Oh, okay, I did paint black in there, and that was actually just with the Gundam marker, no paint or airbrushing, and that could probably use another coat. But that was just, I could easily do that, not have to worry about it. I made this as accurate as possible, and I think I did a really good job. I could just further coat the orange here, because you're seeing the black sticker come in underneath. But I also used a different top coat. I used this Mr. Super Clear. Now, from Mr. Hobby. Rogue New Type, a regular supporter of the channel on Discord, posting his stuff. He advised this, and I have used this before. But it's just hard. It was hard for me to remember. I have to have repetition of specific top coats in order for me to then really understand what I'm getting at here. So, I want to zoom in more. I don't know how much I can zoom. So, over here, we have the TS80. If I can get that to focus. That's Tamiya TS80. This is the Mr. Super Clear matte. I didn't matte these, and I actually, for the visors, I just put some tack putty stuff there just to hide it. In looking at it, I gotta say, I can't outright tell a difference between the two. You know what? I see some areas on the right that is shiny, but that's mainly due to me probably needing to coat it some more. Because some area, like the front and the back, for sure, doesn't have that shininess. But they don't look that different. Again, one's a flat and one's a matte. I'm still not sure exactly what I like. And to be honest with this one, I had put the Alclad 2 matte, and then it messed up. So then I went back and covered it. I fixed it actually with isopropyl alcohol. I cleaned up the frosting, the white chalkiness, went back and hit it with the Tamiya flat, and so it could have been having the matte underneath is what helped. This guy being a P-Bandai release, I was shocked. It didn't have any more to it than this. Just has the two hands, the two swords. That's it. The only range stuff it has is the missiles on the side. I mean, that's pretty unique little weaponry you're adding on, but I feel like I should have a shotgun or something else. I don't know. This was a very basic P-Bandai release, even though it looks cool. But at the end of the day, worth it, especially because of how unique these suits are and what they're from and how cool they are. The BD1, is it BD1? Because it's like making me think of Jedi Fallen Order. Didn't he have like a droid that was BD something? I don't know. This is a very easy release to get. It's not expensive either. I suggest anyone that is into the Gunpla and hasn't built this one, go ahead and do yourself a favor and nab it. I'll have links in the description for both of these. All right, so there you have it. Blue Destiny Unit 1, Efreet Custom, both of them tons of fun to build and to detail, where it doesn't really take a lot because they have a lot of the color separation going on, whether that's stickers or parts. But a lot of fun building them. If you have any questions about how I did any of this, let me know. Drop a line in the comments, join our Discord, ask there. But I do think this was a lot of fun, and these guys go great together. Have you guys built the Blue Destiny Unit 1 or Efreet Custom? Are you familiar with their stories at all? Because yeah, they are very cool mobile suits. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and also thanks to all the supporters that make this possible. Check the links in the description if you're interested in supporting the channel in any way. You get behind the scenes stuff, an exclusive podcast, which one will be releasing shortly. But also join our Discord, we have a lot of fun there. Yeah, we talk about Gunpla and the little techniques we're using and everything. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. We'll talk later.